I think of myself like being in Texas and really planning it out in your mind, like really thinking like, this is how it's gonna be. And the devil again will trick you and try and take the things that are around you and make it seem like this is it, this is where you're gonna go, this is what you're gonna do.
I'm Kristany and I'm from Prestonsburg, Kentucky.
The minute that I realized that God's definition for my life, or His plan for my life, is not what the world's definition is after COVID threw everybody for a loop. So I was in Dallas and I knew I didn't want to re-audition. I wanted to move to Nashville. I wanted to try to dance in music videos and on stage in Nashville. And that's probably what would have looked good on Instagram. You know, looking back, I don't really think I had any kind of real like soul tie to going to Nashville other than it's kind of like a cool place that a lot of people were moving to. I have friends there that are doing well in the dance industry there, so I thought, oh, I can do that too. But it was just a next step. It didn't really hold a whole lot of meaning. So I came home during COVID to this apartment and thought, I'll move to Nashville in the fall. And that is when I reconnected with my husband, Sam. And then we ended up having Sammy, and then we ended up getting married. Yes, so my definition was that I was going to continue dancing, then I wanted to get married when I was like 28, 29, and have a baby when I was 30. But God had different plans, and I'm very, very thankful for those. I never thought I struggled with perfectionism.
And it's weird to even say like perfectionism, because when I think of people who are perfectionists, you think of like type A, I got 4.0, I've got all my homework done, the girls that are like prim and proper and all of that. But whenever I was living in Dallas, I met a girl through Shoreline City Church there, and her name was Cheney, and she was a pageant girl. So we were talking one day about how a lot of our daily struggle of getting things done and getting them done in a certain way maybe kind of stems from having to be perfect on stage. And I enjoyed it. We both enjoyed what we did. She enjoyed pageants and I still enjoy dancing. But when you're done dancing at practice, it's majority of the time it's easy to focus on the things that you did wrong and the things that you need to do better. And you never really stop and think about the things you did great. And when you do now, especially as a teacher now, I always try and give them, it's easy to say like, you need to point your feet on that, you need to do this on that, but step back and try and give them positive feedback too, because most of the time, there's more positive feedback than negative. And it's just what you focus on. So when you think of your normal day, or like Sam will come home and be like, how was your day? And I'll be like, you instantly think of what went wrong. Instead of all the good things that happened in your day, I think like, I had a good day, but I didn't get Sammy to nap long enough, or something like that. And just that thought and that sentence can be an easy spiral for your mindset and your day. You just start to think about all the things that went wrong instead of how blessed you are. And that's the sneaky, sneaky devil. So something that I can do to not go down that rabbit trail into the rabbit hole, which I've done a lot, plenty of times, been stuck in the rabbit hole, is to try and change your thought, which I'm not a master at this, I'm still trying to master it, is to change your thought to something that God says. So there was a lady at Shoreline City in Dallas, her name's Tammy, and I was just talking to her one day and she sent me a book. It is about taking those thoughts that we say to ourselves that are untrue and replacing them with truth. It's not like I went through that one time when it happened. I'm sure this will happen to me 100 times again, and God's gonna show Himself to me 100 times again. And like even since I had the biggest
moment with God, I felt like, in letting go and really having like a heart change for the first time. There's times, even like in my life this morning, today, when you try and pull back the reins and you try and control, and it's like every day you gotta loosen up a little bit more, or you just end up being miserable. But for me, the most helpful thing probably so far is the I ams and the I am nots. So you would think, if something pops up in your head that's like a negative thing about your past during the day, or something that you could have done better at, you think like, I'm not my mistakes, or I'm not that rejection. Instead, this is what God says about me. Like, I am Kristany. Like, and that's enough, you know.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching that video. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can continue to explore faith with Lane and Roses all week, and go ahead and check out our next video right over there.